Welcome to Vantage Point Video 2020. Things have been getting a little bit complicated around here, so I've decided to launch an additional series of videos to the regular garage ones that I do every Friday. And this will be a slightly more casual format where I'm going to sit down just like this and tell you a little bit about what's coming up in the next videos and why I'm jumping from one to the other project, and so that you understand a bit more of what's going on, if you like. Other people can just follow the garage videos and just see that work, and these can be a little bit more concise because I won't have to do so much explaining in them, but this will give you a bit more of the true background to the kind of the madness of having about 4 projects on the go at the same time, all with just one working space, which is all I have here. I'll also be able to tell you a little bit about what's going on my other channels, such as Vantage Point Video, where I just publish all the sports stuff, as opposed to Vantage Point Video Garage, which is this one where you see all the work in the garage. I can tell you a bit about events that I attend, because there's lots of cool stuff going on around the place that I go to, and it'll be nice to have somewhere where I can give you a quick glimpse of what that stuff is like as well. I'll also be able to update you on some of the things that my friends are up to as well, because I've got a good few friends and acquaintances that are doing some pretty interesting things. I hope you've had a really great winter's break and enjoyed ringing in the new year. I picked up a couple of nice little things over the holidays myself. One of them is this set of top trump cards, or quartet as they're known in Europe. I've had loads of these over the years, but I never had a set with my favourite car in it, and my wife Sarah is after finding this set with the competition car Opel Kadett D, exactly of the spec that I plan to build Eric to, so that's a really cool gift to have. Another nice thing that I picked up actually at the Ted's Opel Vauxhall Christmas party was this Opel Vauxhall Club of Ireland 2020 calendar, and inside that there's actually a really nice picture of Moby from Kadett Fest, which is up in Ballina every year, and we visited it on the way to Dublin, which was the start of our big trip across Europe, where we took the ferry to France and then got the windscreen for Chewy, drove up to Belgium, stayed in Bruges, went to Amsterdam, picked up Sarah's brother, drove over to Germany, and then back down to France, got the ferry back. We're stuck in a very big storm and was late for the Galway hill climb, but a really great adventure, and actually just a really nice, a really decent road trip. We're actually planning quite a similar trip this year, but we were thinking that this time we might actually take a ferry over to Wales and drive down and visit some friends in England, and then perhaps go on to London and take the short hop ferry over to Calais in France, and then drive up to some family events that we need to go to in Germany, and that's all in the springtime. Moby is used several times during the week, but there will be a little bit of fettling needed in order to make him tip-top for such a long trip. There were a couple of really nice events towards the end of last year. One of them was the Killarney Historic Rally, which I went to do some filming, but I also had just completed assembling this car, so I brought it over to the service park and it was displayed there with eFox engineers on their trade stand, and this was an opportunity for people to see exactly the starting point for my Kadett D Astra Mark 1 Motorsport preparation project. I also brought Eric over to the Russell Brooks Memorial Run, which took place on the 29th of December, really close to where I live, and was based at Kilmacalogue Harbour. So it was easy to get him over there with a little bit of help from Ivalo, and we put it on display there again for people to see the starting point of my project. And we toured around in Ivalo's car and I took some video of that. So there's a nice video of that run which I published instead of a garage video for last week, but that's over on the Vantage Point Video channel, which is where I put most of the sport videos instead of the garage one. So go over and have a look at that, and you never know, you might look through and find some of the rally ones or things that you're interested in as well. In manoeuvring the car around for those events, I could hear pretty bad sounds from the engine that I got given with Eric, but it did the job. It was what I needed to get the car registered, and I was warned when I was offered it that there was something seriously wrong. So I'm going to take that out now, and I'm actually going to bring it to Cork Engine Centre and let the guys have a closer look at it, because what I'd like to do is have that just fixed up as a road car engine, and then when it gets closer to actually doing some motorsport events, I'll swap that over and put in the engine that you've seen the detailed video of them rebuilding, and I'll use that almost exclusively for motorsport events, and it'll mean I'm able to put the car back into road spec and use it a little bit, because that's an ideal way to shake down a car. It would be very, very expensive to try and assemble a car and then just go straight into motorsport where you've paid big entry fees. That's the last place you want to be rattling out little problems. So I think the best approach to the project will be to assemble it and actually get it roadworthy and use it a little bit before I actually strip it down and get fully into the motorsport preparation project with the roll cage, etc. While the engine is away, that'll give me a handy opportunity to do the last few jobs on Chewy. So the 1 litre turbo diesel Charade, which has taken 3 years now, this is the start of year 3 to get together. I'll finish the respray work on that, so I have the sides of the car, etc. to do, and then it'll be the very exciting task of reassembling all his parts and engine back onto the clean shell. So I can't wait to hear that little 3-cylinder rumble again, so I'm looking forward to completing that. One garage video that I did put out over the break was actually getting the exhaust manifold of the petrol engine for Rocky, our Talbot Express motorhome, machined by Cork Engine Centre, because that had been leaking when it was in situ before. So you could catch up on that video in the meantime. I'm going to use that camper later in the year for a base for some of the motorsport events, so I'm going to be squeezing in a bit of work on that over the next few months as well. I've already started assembling a few parts for that from mixgarage.com. When it comes to spraying this car, I'm hoping to get Gina ready, because she's at a similar state in that it was never actually sprayed on the top surfaces. So I'd like to complete that project at the same time while I'm set up to do the painting on this one, and that would be a really cool thing, because although I did an amazing road trip with that car, the project was actually cut short and the car was reassembled before the bodywork was finished, so that I could go on my stag weekend in Berlin back in 2017. As you can see with all those projects, it's going to be a very busy year. So if you want to follow my progress closely, you can click follow on the Vantage Point Video garage page on Facebook, or all my videos are published on YouTube, Vantage Point Video. Subscribe there and you can hit the notification bell and you'll hear when each one of those ones goes up as well. I want to wish you all the absolute best of luck with your own projects in 2020, and I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank my sponsors who make all this possible.